Hi, diddly ho there, internet. How are we doing today? What do we got in the picture here? Light's a little hot, isn't it? It's a little hot. See if we can fix that. Just not too bad. Bring this one down, this one up. There we go. That might be what we're looking for. We got. Sorry, I had to adjust my light running the camera. That's not very professional of me. I never said I was professional. I'm trying to make it look that way, I suppose, a little bit. But we got two spinners here, but they're sort of the same spinner. We got the Tri THRAXX. We're kind of revisiting this here a little bit for two reasons. One, I had kind of done a first look a while ago, and in that first look, I also compared it to the Very Dapper, did a little comparison, and I really wanted to have its own standalone video. But I was also sent one in copper, yeah, by a very nice somebody by the name of Cody T. I won't give you his full name, not to put him on blast, but he's around the Daily Fidget, he's around there. So he was nice enough to send me this, as well as send me another spinner we'll be talking about in a soon-to-be-announced video, so we'll see that. So, yeah, I think now that I've got kind of both of these, and again, because I fixed the issues with this one, all of them, we can kind of talk about this guy as well. So let's get the formalities out of the way here. Turn this bad boy on. All right, and then just so you know, I've had these for a little while, just haven't really used them, but this is a 50-gram weight I'm going to use to kind of calibrate and show you. And look at that, spot on the monies. So this has different buttons on it. It has the titanium Tri-Fidget buttons, which I really like on here, and I also really like the THRAXX buttons on the Tri-Fidget. So those are just kind of mixed up. So this might throw the weight off just a tiny bit, but we're looking at 63.4 grams. And on the copper, 73. So about a 10-gram difference, is that right? Was that 63? Yeah, so pretty much a 10-gram difference on these guys. So not a huge difference in weight despite the difference in material, but it does feel significantly more solid. This is also in that media blasted finish, so it's got kind of a bit of a texture on it. In the interest of being thorough, we're going to measure everything in millimeters to keep it consistent, so that's just how it's going to be. 20-millimeter buttons. Oops, did you see that? Arms 23. Height about 9. Full width of the spinner probably at its widest. It's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 51 millimeters. Somewhere in that range, and then from the middle to the end of the arm, 37, 38. So yeah, just get to get some measurements out of the way. So, but yeah, so we got it in copper. Yeah, we got it in stainless steel. So let's talk about the stainless steel one just for a minute. If you remember, I said I wanted to do a mirror polish on it, and I needed to fix the arms, those hot spots on the arms. See that? See how it's rounded just a little bit? You can just do it with sandpaper. I wanted to kind of take it over just a little bit, so I did it with this bit. Oops, dang, smashed my camera. Didn't really smash it. With this bit on the Dremel, so it's the little blue stone one. Just to take the corners down just a little bit. That blue stone doesn't actually shave down too much, so I was trying to be real careful not to damage any of the rest of it. You could see one maybe little nick there, but for the most part, we got it. We got in there and we took those sharp edges right down. And then I really do like the mirror finish around the edges and kind of the way it plays with a layer on the side. So I just hit the sides up with Flitz metal polish just to make them sparkle a little bit. But I did put a mirror polish on the face. Let's wipe this down here real quick so you can appreciate the mirror. So let's bring it in so you guys can take a look at it here a little bit. So yeah, so this is the Tri THRAXX. Really, really nice spinner. I also replaced the bearing, so if you listen. Nice bearing. So with getting a new bearing in there, taking down the hot spots, putting the mirror polish on the face of this guy, this thing is an absolute dream. So I think before I said, yes, it is definitely worth more than a Very Dapper, but I kind of wasn't 100% on board because I wasn't really able to play with it like the way you were meant to until I fixed it. And now that I have, I kind of almost had to be afraid of these edges here. So this in this weight too is magical. So we can give it really good flicks. Your finger gets in there every time. These bridges do what they're meant to do. So at first I was kind of like, do you really need them there? You know, what do they really offer the spinner as opposed to just going right into the body? But there is just a little bit of something with that little bridge there, like when you're pushing it, when you're pulling. If you're not pulling on the outside of the arms, like a lot of times I like to do a preloaded flick, the old 1-2P. But sometimes I do a 1-2F or the wind up, the 1-3F and then a P. Meow. So with this weight, you really can get it going really quick, and you can really kind of bring it back really quick, interrupt the spins, restart spins. You don't have a lot of mass to slow down. So for fidgeting, I do actually prefer the stainless steel just for pure fidgetability, just because that weight is right in that sweet spot, where, again, you don't have so much mass that it's kind of an issue stopping it. Your finger doesn't kind of get sore from, like, stopping this all day. Like, if you do a lot of this heavy, fast spinning and then stopping it, the heavier spinners I've found start to, you know, wear on your fingers. Your fingertips just start to get sore, not from hot spots, but just from the weight that you're stopping. So yeah, so really nice spinner. And then again, these buttons, I really just like the feel of these buttons on here. So we'll switch to this guy here for a second. Now this guy, this is actually really nice, despite kind of having, so it almost feels, you know, the media blasted finish almost feels like gritty. It's almost got like a gritty feel to it, but it feels nice and smooth at the same time. And then you don't have any, I didn't have to do anything to this, and I wouldn't anyway because it's not mine, so I haven't even cleaned the bearing on this. But it has a little bit more weight, so while you do, it's just starting to get to that point where when I stop it, I really kind of feel that momentum and that weight that I have to stop, where I don't feel it at all with this. When I stop this, you know, I'm just stopping the spinner, no big deal. As soon as I get to this, and maybe it has to do with this, the media blasted finish as well, but partially that weight. Now, the cutouts on the arms do actually a lot for this, especially in the copper. I don't know if you really need that in the stainless steel. It definitely looks cool. Like, look at that effect that we get, especially like in the bright sunshine. It really starts to look like transparent, like you've got just a couple circles floating, so I really like that. But with the copper especially, you still have that weight density, but it keeps the arms light enough to really maintain a lot of good fidgeting. So I can really still flick this guy really good for a copper spinner. Get really good pulls. And again, maybe it has to do with the media blasted finish and your fingers being able to get more grip, but like every time, I say every time and then I start catching in the middle, but it seems like when I was practicing trying to check out the different fidgeting styles, I can almost always stop it on the edge of the arm. And if I don't stop it on the edge of the arm, like this, when I pull in, I get a good, because of the taper, the arms kind of taper out, I can pull off these spins really well. So it depends on what kind of spin you like to do, but this guy is really good to go. So take a closer look at this. Now on this one, on this guy, I was getting somewhere in the neighborhood of about, I want to say with the bearing nice and clean, really good shape, around 5 minutes on a table spin and close to 7 minutes on a vertical spin. I was getting the same spin times out of this, but I can feel that this probably needs a bit of a clean. I got 445 on a table spin and 645 on a vertical spin, which for a 73 gram spinner is pretty good. It does spin really nice, but again, it's not mine, so we're not gonna touch anything with it. We're just gonna let it ride as it is. But this is definitely something that's capable of some pretty decent, respectable spin times. So. And it's got a nice little patina that it's getting on it. So obviously the faces of the arms are going to patina more because that's where your hands are touching it. So it kind of gives you this cool kind of look. Buttons are just as amazing here as they were on the other version. So these are really some of the best buttons in the game. So it's almost worth the price of admission just for the buttons. So really, really solid spinners. So for you know, American made, you know, I kind of gave this guy a little bit of flack, and I saw a bunch of flack in the comments for it not kind of being essentially finished at that same price with the machine finish. And yeah, if they're going to offer the machine finish, you know, sell it for, in my opinion, $20 cheaper. And just note that, hey, this is, you know, either going to have some sharp edges you're going to have to take care of. You know, just put that little disclaimer out there. And I think that this would be good. But I do prefer the feel of this one, even though again it had me doing a little bit of work. So final verdict. You know, the stainless steel for me is the one that I prefer fidgeting with. However, we are going to revisit the Very Dapper versus THRAXX argument with the copper that's a little closer in the weight and the same density. So And I think I started talking about the cutouts in the arms. So with the density on this, sorry, we're all over the place, but hey, that's my videos, that's my style. With the cutouts on the arms, reducing the weight of the arms, you still have that heavier metal density that you can really kind of still feel that it's a denser metal, that it's that copper, as opposed to brass or stainless, as opposed to stainless steel or titanium or aluminum. But with the copper and the brass, I'm assuming is going to feel damn near identical. You still get those same cool looks, but the arms get kind of a little bit of lightness or responsiveness back. You know, you're not fighting against the arm weight the whole time you're trying to pull it or you're trying to flick it. It still maintains that kind of light, fun feel that you get with a stainless steel spinner. So this probably actually feels just about identical to what this would probably feel like if the arms were full and didn't have the cutouts, or maybe to something like a stainless steel. I think they make the Very Dapper in stainless steel, but they definitely make it in titanium. But yes, they make it in stainless steel. I'm sure they do. So. Right, so before I was so rudely interrupted by a phone call, first time that's ever happened. I don't get phone calls often, so I never think to do airplane mode. I'll find out who it is and I'll kill him. I kill him. I kill the some. What's the letter after A before C? I'll kill that one. Some B. So I forget kind of what I was saying. I think I was kind of saying like this, if it was a solid piece, would feel very similar to this with the cutouts, or maybe probably very similar to a stainless steel Very Dapper. But I was trying to think of, you know, now that I kind of dealt with the issues with this guy, like what are some negative things I can say about it? You know, it's really, there's not a whole lot I can say. You know, maybe the biggest negative, I hate bringing up the Very Dapper in this particular video because I kind of want to revisit that in a second video. But the only real negative is maybe that it doesn't feel like it's worth like $100 more than a Very Dapper. But that's really like the only thing I can say. Like they fidget really well, they flick really well. They feel really nice. I love the look and the design of these. They've got amazing buttons. With the exception of, again, the issues I had with this one, there aren't hot spots anywhere. They fidget well here. They fidget well here. They fidget well here. Get the old 1, 3, 4 awkward fidget going. They fidget, you know, however you want to fidget. The 3, 4, F. Fidget well, man. So there isn't a whole lot of negative stuff I can say about these guys. So yeah, now that I fixed it, now that I've been able to enjoy it and didn't have to kind of slow my roll and watch out and be careful. Watch out. They're going to bite you. They're going to bite you. There really isn't a whole lot to say. So I think we're going to end it there and just give it the old 2 thumbs up. I wish I could say something a little more negative just to make it sound like I'm being honest. But I am being honest, and I love them. And I'm also a really positive guy, so it takes a lot to really get me upset and to say something super negative. But yeah, there you go. Tri THRAXX in copper and in stainless steel. If you've been thinking about it, get yourself some because they are sweet. All right, guys, take it easy. I'm out.